name is Dr. Darryl Baynes. I am the founder and president of Interactive Science Programs. And what we're going to do today, very simply, is talk about not a tea kettle, but STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. My organization has been around for 24 years. We've seen close to 1 million students, teachers, and parents around the world, getting the students excited about science and math, and the teachers excited about learning how to teach science and math. And science is going on around us all of the time. My proposition to you is that if you can find something that you're passionate about and then focus your time and energy in that passion and learn how to create a business out of it, you will be just as much of a genius as an Einstein, a Newton, a Mark Dean, George Washington Carver, all of these people who have impacted the world by using their genius about what they're passionate about. I'm passionate about teaching science. I am one of the best in the country that there is in doing it. And as you find your passion and you work and learn and teach in your passion, hopefully you can make money, and then you realize that it's the comenius so genius.
English.
I'm sorry. No matter how you translate it, genius is common. These are all scientific experiments. All right, let me give you a real hard one. Raise your hand if you've ever made Kool-Aid. Now, if you've made Kool-Aid, you've made a chemical solution. These are all scientific experiments. So everybody in here is a scientist. You guys are already pretty smart. This is a tea kettle. If the liquid in the tea kettle is boiling, then the whistle goes off. If this tea kettle is sitting on the stove in your house and the whistle goes off, is the liquid inside hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot. Did you grab the pot?
No.
Duh. You know if you grab the pot, it'll burn. All right, check it out. Right now, the liquid inside is boiling. Whistle's going off.
Listen.
Raise your hand if you think this liquid is hot. Raise your hand if you think the liquid might be cold. You got one brother that says it might be cold. Everybody else says it's hot. What you just gave me was your hypothesis, your educated guess. In our scientific method, after we do the hypothesis, the next step is to do the experiment. The experiment is, I'm going to dump this on my brother's head. Come on. Now, check it out. If you see a tea kettle boiling at home, I don't want you to try this at home. What I want you to do here is touch the bottom. Come on, boy, don't be scared. I just did it. Trust me. Hot or cold? Cold. Okay, sit down. It is so cold, there's frost down on the top of the tea kettle. I'm going to dump this on his head. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, all of you guys are scientists. Move back up. Raise your hand if you can tell me what happened to the liquid.
Froze.
Oh, don't holler out of my class. Raise your hand if you can tell me what happened to the liquid. Oh, frozen. No. It's completely empty. It turned into a gas. Excellent, it turned into a gas. What do we call that when a liquid turns into a gas? The letter E. Evaporation, thank you, though. Evaporation. So, because this is so cold, that gives you an idea that the liquid that I poured in here was cold. The liquid was so cold that the tea kettle at room temperature made all of the liquid evaporate away. Anybody know what liquid I put in here? Raise your hand if you think you can tell me. Sir. Yes, sir. Water? No. Boiling water? No. Yes, sir.
Hot water.
Hot water. This is cold. Matter of fact, touch the bottom. So you see that this stuff was cold. The liquid that I poured in here was cold. liquid is called liquid nitrogen. This is what I carry my liquid nitrogen in. This thing is called a Dewar flask, D-E-W-A-R, Dewar flask. Anybody have one of these at home? No. You know what? How about this? Does anybody have a thermos bottle like on lunchbox? See, if you have a thermos bottle, you have a Dewar flask. They're exactly the same thing. A lot of the things we use in science, we have at home, they just give it a different name. Thermos bottle, Dewar flask, same thing. In my thermos bottle, my Dewar flask here, is liquid nitrogen. Let me give you an idea how cold this stuff is. Raise your hand if you ever had water in your hand. Excellent. Raise your hand if you ever had ice in your hand. Raise your hand if you can tell me what temperature water turns into ice. Professor, what temperature does water turn into ice? You forgot? Okay. Any other ideas? Yes, sir. It is cold, but I need a number for it. 0 degrees Celsius. What's the Fahrenheit temperature water turns to ice? So when you're looking at television and tell you what the temperature is, it's always in Fahrenheit. What's the Fahrenheit temperature water turns to ice? That's Celsius. Anybody know? Young lady, you know? 32. 32, so you just had the number back. 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. My liquid in here is 196 degrees below 0 Celsius. 196 degrees colder than ice in your refrigerator. So we're going to pour some out. Don't move. Don't move, it won't hurt. Say it back. Because I don't do magic, I do science. There's a big difference. I'm not trying to trick you. This is all things that happen all the time. I just poured water on the floor. Is our floor wet or dry? Dry. Since I poured a liquid on the floor and our floor is dry, what happened to the liquid?
It froze.
It evaporated, turned into a gas. How about this? If it turned into a gas, where did the gas go, my brother? In the air. So if I have liquid nitrogen, what type of gas does liquid nitrogen turn into? Yes, sir. Oxygen. Oxygen, no. Liquid nitrogen, what kind of gas does liquid nitrogen turn into? How about nitrogen? So we have liquid nitrogen that just turned into nitrogen gas. It's floating in the air. The air we breathe is mostly nitrogen gas. Okay. Mostly nitrogen gas. All right. Let's pour some more in there. All right, we're going to do an experiment. Batman, let's go. All right, bro, what I want you to do is blow that balloon up. While this young man is blowing this balloon up, I want you to notice we're using a clear balloon so you can see through it. His air, his exhaled air, is a gas. The air in this room is a gas. Can you see the air in this room?
No.
No. Can you see the air in that balloon?
No.
Keep going, man. we're going to take this balloon and put it in liquid nitrogen. So we have to think about the possibilities of what could happen. All right, okay. In this balloon is his air. We're going to put this balloon in liquid nitrogen. I'm going to tell you the possibilities of what could happen. How many people saw the movie Terminator 2? In the movie Terminator 2, at the end of the movie, the robot, the T-1000, got liquid nitrogen poured on him. He froze solid. When we put this balloon in liquid nitrogen, the balloon could freeze solid like the Terminator. The balloon could get bigger. The balloon could get smaller. It could pop right away. So, I need your hypothesis. Raise your hand if you think it'll freeze solid. Get bigger. Get smaller. Pop right away. Cool? All right, homie. This is how we're going to do it. Hold that. Hold the balloon with 2 hands. I'm going to pour liquid nitrogen into the bowl. You're going to put the balloon down into the bowl. And don't let go. Don't be stirred. All right? What's happening to the balloon? It's getting smaller. Think about this. In this balloon is his air. As he pushes the balloon down into the liquid nitrogen, a little piece of air getting closer, they're getting closer together. Suppose you're laying at home in bed and you're cold. You don't lay like this. You curl up like that. His air is curling up, trying to keep his heat, so the whole balloon is getting smaller. This gives us an idea that as things get cold, they contract. They get closer together. Everybody say closer together.
Closer together.
Big question. Now we want to make sure that he doesn't get his hands in here, so I'm going to push down with my spoon. Okay. Notice it looks like a Hershey's Kiss. Push down the rest of the way with my spoon. Why are you backing up? Don't be scared. Alright, that's what we're going to do. He's going to grab the balloon by the edge and lift it up. When he does, you'll see a white liquid in the bottom of the balloon. That is his air. It got so cold it turned into a liquid. Then the two of us, we're going to blow this balloon back up from the outside. Alright, grab by the edge, lift it up. Right. Yep, lift it up. So, this is his air right here. Now watch what happens. Let go. So, as things get cold, they get closer together. We both touch the balloon, our hands are warm. We both bloom and our breath is warm. As things warm up, they get farther apart. The balloon is still tied off, none of the air came out. It's the same air that was in there before. Excellent job. Thank you, man.
Wow.
So, let's say you want to try this yourself at home. If you put a balloon in the freezer, because the molecules move around so much, it's not going to do a good job. What you should do is take a water bottle. The plastic that the water bottles are made of is real thin. So drink all of the water, put some hot water in it, shake it up, pour the hot water out, then immediately put the top on. And sit it in the freezer and the whole bottle will shrink up. Then when you take it out and sit it on the counter as it warms up, it'll get bigger.
What?
Okay. Try that at home. And this balloon is a gas. We can't see it. When we made it cold, the little pieces got closer together, it turned into liquid, we could see it. The difference between a solid liquid and a gas is how far apart the little pieces are. That's the only difference between a solid liquid and a gas. Okay? What we had here is a state of matter change, not a chemical change. It's the same air that was in there before. A chemical change is when you get something different. We don't have anything different. It's the same air that was in there before. All right. Let's do the tie-dye shirt. Let's go. Hey, tie-dye shirt. Come on, girl, stop playing. Let's go. So we're going to compare the ball and the balloon. First of all, my balloon is almost round. Is that ball round? Okay. If I squeeze the balloon as hard as I can, the air doesn't come out. Squeeze the ball. Air come out? Nope. I'm going to bounce my balloon on the wood as hard as I can. Bounce it as hard as you can. Try it again. Bounce the ball. Come on, hard. Now, we're going to put this ball in liquid nitrogen. Raise your hand if you think the ball will shrink like the balloon did. How about free solid? Get bigger?
Yes.
Or pop right away?
I said.
All right, now this is how this works. That ball has air in it. When you put the ball in liquid nitrogen, it's going to float in the liquid. I'm going to hold the ball down under the liquid with my spoon while I'm doing that. Put on glasses and gloves. Yeah. Take the ball. Okay, squeeze it. So this one happened.
It popped.
The rubber that the ball was made of was thicker than the rubber that the balloon was made of. So the outside of the ball froze solid. So when she pushed on it, it was so thin, she cracked it. That pop you heard was an implosion. Now, if we hold the rubber in our hand, it's back to being a regular piece of rubber again. Cool. Good. I'm all right. All right. So let's see. Balloons made of rubber. The ball was made of rubber. Let's try something made of metal. My man, let's go. So here we have a thin piece of metal. Dark on one side, shiny on the other. This is silver, this is brass. Put it in. Okay. It's in our liquid nitrogen. This only takes a few seconds to work. Grab the wooden handle. So notice, it bent over to towards the darker side. When the brass metal gets cold, the little pieces get closer together faster than the silver in the back, so it bends over in this direction. What I want you to do is wave it around. Faster. While he's waving it around, it's going to warm it up. Push it out to the metal. It'll straighten back out. Because as things warm up, they get farther apart. All of you have one of these in your house. It's attached to the wall. Use it mostly in the winter. It's called a thermostat. You take the cover off your thermostat, you'll see a long coil of wire. When the house gets cold, the wire gets smaller, makes connection, turns your furnace on. When the house warms up, the wire gets bigger, breaks connection, turns your furnace on. Okay, give me your enjoying it. Okay. Now, this is a thin piece of metal. Now we're going to try it with something a little thicker. Pink.
You, me, you.
Young lady.
Kaylee.
So, this is a thin piece of metal. I mean, a thicker piece of metal. Okay? See what it feels like. Pretty hard, right? This is so hard I can put a knot on your head with this. This is my question. If we put this thick metal in liquid nitrogen, will the metal get smaller, or do you think it's so hard it will stay the same? You see me talking about? What do you think? Stay the same. What do you think? Our two scientists here say it's going to stay the same. Raise your hand if you agree with that. Raise your hand if you think the ring might get smaller. Raise your hand if you think the ring might possibly get bigger. All right? This is what we're going to do. Before we put this ring in liquid nitrogen, move back here. Before we put this ring in liquid nitrogen, you're going to put the ball through the ring. Now tell us how big the ring is. Put the ball through the ring. All right, almost there. So the ball goes through the ring. Just hold on to the ball. Don't let go. Take the ring. Hold the top of the ring and liquid nitrogen. You like it? No, just like it. Okay. Ball is in his hand. Ring is in liquid nitrogen. As soon as he dropped the ring in liquid nitrogen, the liquid began to boil. Raise your hand if you can tell me why the liquid nitrogen boiled. Professor. Because the metal is warm. The metal is warm, the liquid is cold, the metal is making the liquid boil. How about this? When the liquid stops boiling, how cold will the ring be? 0 degrees metal. Yes?
32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Speak up.
32 degrees Fahrenheit.
32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the same as 0 degrees Celsius. No. The ring is in the liquid. The liquid's not boiling now. How cold will the ring be? Yes, sir.
129.
Why 129?
I was thinking what you said it was in
196.
196.
196. So the ring is going to be the same temperature as the liquid. Now, we want to make sure that the ring is in the liquid. Look real close, both of you. All right. Hold that. Turn the ball around. Put it through. Notice it won't go through. The ball was in his hand. His hand is warm. The ball got a little bit bigger. The ring was in liquid nitrogen. The liquid's cold. The ring got a little bit smaller. Now I have a problem. Because they broke the thing. It won't work anymore. You guys can see that. So, what can I do to the ball only in order to get the ball through the ring? Yes. Stop. I can put the ball in liquid nitrogen. Suppose I don't want to do that. What can I do to the ring only in order to get the ball through the ring? Sir?
Put water on hot water on it.
Put hot water on it. Warm it up. One of the warmest things we have is our hand. But if we grab this with our hand, it's so cold it'll burn a hole in your hand. So I need everybody's help. Put your hands together. Start rubbing. We're going to rub and warm this up. You got it real fast, but it's real close to burning. Rub. Warm it up. There you go. Warm it up. Faster. Faster. Rub. Come on, man. Don't be scared. Rub. Warm it up. Warm it up. Warm it up. Get ready to get on your cake. Follow the rules. Now, let me ask you this. When you rub things together, they get hot. What type of heat is that we generate when we rub things together? Begin with the letter F.
Friction.
No.
Friction.
F. R. I.
Fahrenheit.
Friction. We put all of that frictional heat back into the metal. Now, I can take the ball and go straight to it. So even thick metal will change shape when it gets cold. Up in the north, where I grew up in Philadelphia, in the winter, stop signs get a little bit smaller. The poles get a little bit smaller. I also work at the Kennedy Space Center where the space shuttle used to take off. So I have astronaut friends who told me when they were on the space shuttle, as it orbits the Earth, the same thing is happening right now with the space station, as it is orbiting the Earth. When it is facing the sun, it is 200 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit, the space station gets bigger. When it orbits away, 200 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, the space station gets smaller. So it expands and contracts all the time. In the winter, you'll hear this in your house. If it's cold, you're in your house. The house is nice and quiet. The furnace comes on, warm air goes to the ductwork, you hear the house starting to creak and expand. Same thing. Same thing. That space shuttle has to be able to expand and contract or else it'll crash. Same thing with the space station. This is also how they make airplane wings. They drill holes on the wings, on the body of the airplane, then they take the bolts. They put the bolts in. The bolts are too big to go in the hole. They shrink the bolts in liquid nitrogen, pop it in the hole, and when it warms up, it'll swell in the hole and it'll never come apart. It's called cold riveting. That's how they put those things together. So you never hear about an airplane vibrating apart because it can't. It's cold riveted together. It can't come apart. I like marshmallows. Okay. You too. Let's go. One on this side. Grab the end. Hold real tight. Pull. Spring. Pull. Okay, relax. So you notice, this is rubber that stretches. Put this in liquid nitrogen. 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger was sitting on the launch pad. In between the solid fuel rockets and the liquid boosters, there were rubber O-rings. Those rubber O-rings stretched. The night before the launch, the temperature went below freezing. The rubber O-rings froze. The next day, when they started the space shuttle going up, the rubber O-rings were still frozen. The rubber O-rings were still frozen. So when they told the astronauts to give the space shuttle full power, instead of the rubber O-rings being able to stretch, because they were frozen, they cracked. The whole space shuttle blew up. At the end, oh. So the space shuttle Challenger exploded because rubber doesn't stretch in the cold. That's the only difference. Now, take that with your other hand. You got to keep warming it up with your hand. And that's, don't say that never again. Don't say that. All right. Let's see. What else is in there? There we go. Let's try this. A lot of people ask me what happened if you put the human body in liquid nitrogen. First, I poured liquid nitrogen into the bowl. Now I'm not pouring it out. But in a second or two, there'll be a liquid forming on the bottom of the bowl. Once the bowl gets cold. But once a lot of it starts to form, it'll start to drip. Here it is. All right, hand out. What's happening is the bowl is so cold, it is condensing the 21% oxygen right out of the air. As soon as it touches your hand, that liquid oxygen turns back into a gas. did that on purpose. Let's think about this. As things get cold, they get closer together. As they warm up, they get farther apart. There's an exception to the rule. There's one substance on this planet, when it gets cold, it gets bigger. Any idea what it is? Raise your hand if you think you can tell me. Yes.
Is it us?
Who?
Us.
Us? There's a certain thing in us that's doing it, not us per se. Polar bear? Polar bear, no. Oxygen, no. No, not carbon dioxide. Who? No. Young lady, what you think? Yeah, do you have an idea?
Water.
Water. Water is the only thing on this planet, when it gets cold, it gets bigger. When you put water in an ice cube tray, the ice cubes are bigger than the amount of water you put in. Okay? What's the human body mostly made of? Water. So, if you get something real cold on you, a little bit of water in your cell will swell up and break the cell apart. You feel it as a sting or a burn. So that sting you felt was an example of frostbite. Those cells will die and replace themselves. But if a lot of cells die at one time, they got to cut it off. It's done. Well, let's try this. I have a paper towel. I'm going to fold it up. Right now, is our paper towel wet or dry? Dry. So I'm going to crunch it. Nothing happens. Put it in the microwave. Move it around. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Take it out of liquid nitrogen. You can see it was in the liquid. I'm going to crunch it again. Notice, nothing much happened. But I have a bucket of water here. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Take it out.
It's sprinkle. Whoa, wow. It sounds like this is Dorito.
Don't move. All right, now, let's think about this. When the paper towel was dry, nothing happened. As soon as we made the paper towel wet, it could crumble and fall apart because we put water on it. The human body is mostly made of water. What do you think would happen if we put our hand in liquid nitrogen? My brother in orange, what do you think would happen if you put your hand in liquid nitrogen? You think it'll freeze?
Frostbite.
Frostbite. My man right here. Let's go, bro. See the liquid nitrogen? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hand like this. When I count to 3, you're going to put your fingertips in and out, go pick ninja style. Okay? 1, 2, wait, is this the hand you're right with? Oh, we don't want to use that. Okay. In and out, okay. 1, 2, wait, do you have control? Is that what you're not going to worry about? All right. In and out, okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, for those who missed it, I stepped on a balloon. He put his hand in and out of liquid nitrogen. Hand not frozen, not even wet. Raise your hand if you can tell me why.
Because our hands are
Sir.
Because our hands are dry on the outside.
Not just because it's dry, it's something else.
Because our hands are warm.
Because our hands are warm. Our bodies are so warm, as soon as you touch liquid nitrogen, it'll boil away from your fingers and turn into a gas. However, if you touch this for longer than 2 or 3 seconds, you'll get severe frostbite. Between 3.5 to 4.5 minutes, your hand will freeze solid. And if it froze solid, and you bump it against the desk, it will crack right off. There's a company in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's say you're dying from a disease they can't cure, like stupidity. They will freeze you in liquid nitrogen with the idea that when they come up with a cure, they'll thaw you, fix you, bring you back to life. If you're dying from old age, they will cut off your head. Just freeze the head with the idea that if it ever becomes legal, they'll take a few cells, clone a whole new body, or 100 years, 200 years, they'll make a robotic body, stick your head on it, bring you back to life like on Futurama. Most people think it would be impossible to touch liquid nitrogen. Nothing's impossible, the right information and the right knowledge. I'm going to bring this around so you get a chance to put your hand in. The liquid's right here. You want to put your hand in and out real quick.
Yeah, she's talking about. Are we about to fill the water?
You don't have to grab it. Let's think about this. Every time something warm gets to liquid nitrogen, a little bit of a cloud comes out. Raise your hand if you can tell me what you call a cloud that you can touch. A cloud you can touch, any idea? Fog. The definition of fog is a cloud within 50 feet of the ground. I'm going to make a cloud in this bucket, and I'm going to come by and I'm going to dump that cloud on your head. This will feel exactly like a cloud in the sky. I won't be able to see, so when you lazy. Remember, don't move. All of you are now touched this cloud. When you walk outside and you look up in the sky, the clouds in the sky are very cold. The higher up you go, the colder the clouds are. When I'm flying an airplane very high, I'll get water on the wings and the windows. If I go too high, the water will turn to ice, because the higher you go, the colder it gets. This is what I want to know. If a cloud is a liquid, gas, both. Raise your hand if you think a cloud is just a liquid. Just a gas.
That's the first time.
Both a liquid and a gas. By definition, a cloud is an example of condensation. The gas turns into a liquid, therefore a cloud is a liquid. The average cloud weighs between 2 and 3 tons. Weigh the average cloud, 2 to 3 tons. You can tell a cloud is a liquid because the cloud goes to the ground and fog. When you're driving in the car, you got to put your windshield wipers on. You're driving a little nasty. 2 to 3 tons.
I'll put my whole face in it for the whole bed.
Me too.
I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what my container is called. Do not holler out. Do not holler out. Either the regular name or the science name. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what it's called. My brother, what's it called?
Darryl.
Thermos bottle is a regular, it's an everyday name. Good, good. What's the science name for this thing? Begins with the letter D. Thermos is a T. No,
Baynes.
See, when you're in my class, you gotta pay attention. Yes. Say it again. It's called a doer flask. Doer flask. All right. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me the name of the liquid inside. Liquid nitrogen. All right. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me the Fahrenheit temperature water turns to ice. Then ladies. No, Fahrenheit temperature water turns to ice. 32. 32. Celsius temperature, water turns ice. 0. Welcome, Brent. All right. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what the process is called when a liquid turns into a gas. Evaporation. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what the opposite of evaporation is. When a gas turns into a liquid. No. Condensation. You want a marshmallow? You got to answer one of the questions. All right, bro. When things get cold, what happens to them? All right, I'll give you that. So, looking up the brother out. As things get cold, what happens to them? Freeze, no. They shrink. They get closer together. All right. As things warm up, what happens to them? They get farther apart. So I'm going to give everybody a marshmallow.
Give everybody a marshmallow.
There you go.
No. Yes.
I just got 2 marshmallows and liquid nitrogen.
I knew it was going to be.
Raise your hand if you think the marshmallows will shrink into mini marshmallows.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
All right, how about this? Raise your hand if you think they'll just freeze solid like an ice cube. Or they can swell up into giant marshmallows. Let's see. My man in the back, you like marshmallows? Now, no matter what's in here, we're going to eat these. I'll eat the first one because I don't want you to start. Okay? Notice, the marshmallows haven't changed shape. All you got to do. All women. Here's what's going on. The marshmallows cold, your mouth is warm, and different temperature will make smoke come out. You keep your mouth closed, the smoke will come out your nose. If you keep your nose and your mouth closed, even though there has smoke, it will not come out your ears or anywhere else.
Shay, don't put this on Facebook.
You in the newspaper? You in the newspaper? Look, she taking a picture.
Sure, you want to try one? All right, check it out. I have 5 marshmallows left. Listen, I give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what's the name of the African American woman who was the first African American woman in space. Yes. What's her name? Yes. Yes. Amelia Earhart. She's the first one that came to my mind. Can you tell me the name of the first African American male in space? No, that's a funny male. what's the name of the African American who invented instant coffee, mayonnaise, linoleum floors? He did his research on the peanut. George Washington Carver. As soon as I say peanut, people know, but y'all don't know all that other stuff he invented too. So, you put a mayonnaise on your sandwich, that was invented by George Washington Carver. All right. Let's see, something like that. Something easy? I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me any of Newton's 3 laws of motion. No. What about 4? All right. So, the third law says, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I give you a marshmallow if you can tell me what is the fastest thing known to man? The fastest thing. No. I didn't say animal. I said fastest thing. What? The speed of light. I'll give you a marshmallow if you can tell me Einstein's equation that begins with the letter E.
Evaporation.
No. The equation that begins with the letter E. E equals something. Yes.
E equals MC squared.
E equals MC squared.
Fair.
Sometimes when I do experiments, they take a lot of work. This one takes a few minutes. So I'm going to pour a little bit of liquid nitrogen into this flask. Just a little bit. Now this takes a few minutes. And what? Now every time I put the top on, the top pops off, and all of the liquid nitrogen is gone. Ray James, you can tell me why the top pops off. Young lady. No. All of the liquid's gone. Why the top pops off? Sir. Where did the pressure come from? Where did the gas come from? What was the liquid doing that created the gas? Begins with the letter E. Evaporated. So listen close. I pour liquid nitrogen in a fast second and boil, turn the gas, muscle spread, pressure increase, stop it.
What?
I'm going to say it one more again, okay?
You sound like you're speaking.
One more again.
Don't say it.
Don't say it fast? Okay. I poured liquid nitrogen into the flask. The liquid nitrogen boiled and turned into a gas. As it turns into a gas, the molecules spread out. As the molecules spread out, the pressure increases. As the pressure increases, it pushes the top up. Because we're good scientists, we need to observe. I'm going to pour liquid nitrogen in here. I'm going to put the top on. When I put the top on, raise your hand if you think the top will pop off. Raise your hand if you don't think the top will pop off. All right, so most of you notice it has a little loose thingy about thing sticking out the sides. Let's see what happens. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pour more liquid in than I did the first time. Put the top on, push down. You can see the liquid boiling turning into gas coming out the hole. if I cover the hole? All right, let's cover the hole. Now, I didn't say what I was going to cover the hole yet. Every time I pour liquid nitrogen into this flask and I put the top on, the top pops off. What happens if I put the top on so hard the top can not pop off? What happens to the glass? The glass will break. Every time I open my newer flask, I pull the top straight off. There are no threads on here, nothing to keep this on tight. It is always loose. It has to stay loose. Break down if you can tell me why. It has to stay loose. I'm late with the stripes. It has to stay loose. Why?
It's talking to you.
Say that again? Because it needs air? Because you need air. Sir.
For some warm air to get in.
Why does more air have to get in?
Or else it'll probably pop.
Because it's going to school.
Because the thing will explode. This has to stay loose so that over time, as the liquid nitrogen turns to a gas, it can come out. If it can't come out, the pressure in the tank will build up and the whole tank will blow up. If we have a sealed container of liquid nitrogen with no way to get the gas out, we would have made a nitrogen bomb. So that's what we're going to do next. This is what we're going to do. We're going to walk outside. Is it raining? No, good. We're going to walk outside, and I'm going to take some liquid nitrogen. We're going to put liquid nitrogen into this 2-liter bottle, just a little bit. Put the top on real tight, and the whole bottle will blow up. All right. As soon as I put the top on, I started my stopwatch. This normally happens between 4 and 6 minutes. I put a little bit of liquid nitrogen in. You see smoke coming out. It's not leaking. The liquid is so cold, it's condensing the air around the bottom of the bottle, creating a cloud. Okay? It's been 2 minutes.
I haven't tried.
It's almost going now. It's starting to go.
That was designed.
3 minutes. You're going to notice the bottle's getting bigger. See it starting to stretch? It's been 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
That's how long it's been.
So how many minutes it take?
Remember, I said between 4 and 6. It's almost 5 minutes.
Keep them all the way back there.
All right, any questions? Anybody?
Yes. I've been a scientist all my life, right? Because even when I was little, I wanted to know how things happen. But I've been owning this company for 24 years.
How old are you now? That's right.
Hold on. How old do you think I am?
40, yeah.
40, 45?
34.
I'm 56.
Oh, dang.
Oh, now y'all should know that black don't crack. And black people age very well. All righty. Any other questions?
No, sir.
So, as you think about it, a lot of the science we did in here, you guys are doing at home, right? You don't even know it. So, one of my sons, anybody here an athlete?
Yeah.
So one of my sons went to the University of Southern California for high jumping. When he graduated from high school, his GPA was 4.3. He took all AP and honors classes. And then when he got to USC, in 11th grade, he was jumping 7 feet. So they thought he was going to go to the Olympics. Freshman year got hurt. Sophomore year got hurt. Junior year got hurt. In 4 years, he only jumped 3 times for the University of Southern California. But because his grades were so good, they kept giving him his scholarship. The grades have to come first. I don't care how good of an athlete you are. If you just depend on your athletics, you're 1 injury away from being out of school. The grades have to come first. I got a full scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh. I played football and basketball. But the thing that's making me my money now is not football or basketball. It's my science that I learned while I was in college. Grades got to come first. Anybody have any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
Give Dr. Baynes, right? Give Dr. Baynes a real big hand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.